Transportation in Kenya. It's like nowhere else on Earth. With buses and smaller vehicles called matatus, pimped up to attract customers. Bus here is 50 bob. Conductors and others hanging off the side, tempting fate and a danger to other fellow public transport passengers. Don't just use your helmet, use your brain. But these guys are nothing compared to the flying trucks transporting miraa to customers across the country. These guys are overloaded, breaking speed limits everywhere they go, barely missing other vehicles and pedestrians. Because people who chew miraa to get high need it to be as fresh as possible. Nsibe is a local truck driver who has been around for about 7 decades. For 5 of those, he has been in the transportation business. He has been delivering miraa for the last 3. It has been a couple of slow months for Nsibe. The drought has devastated miraa farms, making deliveries few and far between. Nsibe has just received a call requesting a delivery. Okay, no problem. I will be there. But there is only one little problem. His vehicle needs a quick fix. He rushes to get oil filters from the auto shop. Ken, one of Nsibe's nephews, is tagging along. He is eager to learn from the Grandmaster, and the basics are very important. That one helps with filtration. It's the oil filter. We have to change it when servicing the car. We have to change the oil too. This is now missing. Nsibe knows the beast inside and out, feels its pain, and looks for a remedy. I don't know the exact kilometers it has traveled, just an estimate, based on days and the locations it might have gone. But the Grandmaster looks like he brought the wrong filters. Check to see if the holes match. I don't think so. It looks like the one we've bought doesn't match. We need to go back to the auto shop and exchange it. Maybe it's the threading difference. They try to look for a solution to sort it out. In the end, he figured out what was wrong with his baby. All will be well. I have sorted it out. I didn't know what the problem was. I think he was tightening it the wrong way. The beast of miraa is finally ready. For the various driving jobs he does, Nsibe makes about $80 a day. 80% of that goes to renting the Land Rover. The remainder allows him to live a reasonable lifestyle. Today, he is picking up workers to take them to the miraa farms for harvesting. It is a rough and bumpy ride for the passengers. We voted in the Member of Parliament to fix our road, but he has not done anything. I can't even move a wheelbarrow up this terrible road. Right now, we've got to get to the Mira farm, and the car can't get us there. We all have to walk from here. Even the driver over here. He can tell you how many times he's had to fix worn-out tires. There is danger here, even on such a seemingly routine trip. Vehicles here often tip over on their sides when overloaded with passengers, seriously injuring the human cargo. And Sibe has cleared the worst part. And now he has some company in the cab, as he is joined by one of the young harvesters. You are so quiet. Why aren't you like a jukebox? You got to put in some money? Why are you laughing? Look at the condition of our roads. We just got to drive slowly. And Sibe, of course, is the first link in the chain of the flying trucks. They deliver Mira, a mild stimulant that is in huge demand in East Africa. Mira is big business, particularly in the farming area of Meru, in the north of the country. Thousands of people make a living from this plant. There are various qualities, with an especially potent one called moguka. People say Mira is like wine, while moguka is like vodka. The crew gets loose before they dive in and start gathering the Mira. The harvesters will get paid for what they produce, but do receive some payment before they start. Some will get 500 Kenyan shillings, about $4. Others receive as much as 2,500, or $20. They return the money if they don't meet their quota. They get more for a more productive day. Mary Riara inherited the Mira business from her parents. Despite recent challenges, she has run the farm very successfully. Her harvesters like to enjoy some Kenyan tea before they start their work. If you are not experienced, you cannot harvest Mira. See, like the one he is holding? It looks better. It's not the same as the ones in the tree. This one is good quality. If you harvest this poor quality, he will just kick you out. He will tell you, you are a poor harvester. These ones we just throw away because they are not good. The landowner can have a pretty good life, especially if they know the business of farming. This Mira was planted by my dad when I was young. These Mira trees are between 30 and 35 years old. I use these Mira to take care of both my siblings and my children. All my nephews, nieces, and my own children have all gone to university from the money we make here. The harvesters are being rushed. The harvest is complete. Everyone is ready to head home, but Nsibe's machine is putting his patience to the test. Mise, this door, you need to pull the wire to open it. The door won't close. Old man, your car is broken. That's why I tell you guys to hold on tight. As always, Nsibe makes a small repair, and they are off to deliver the product as fast as possible. This car is a lion. It's a beast. We are Mira workers. And Sibe has arrived at the sorting center, where the Mara is repacked to go in many different directions across the country. Kefa is another local driver making a living from the leaf. He is going through his regular routine, getting the vehicle ready for its breakneck trip to the capital. Are the clips finished? What about the brake pads? Did you check them? What about you? Did you finish cleaning it up? As they wrap rope around the springs and fix the tires, the car is washed. This is where the flying and flying trucks begins. Getting Mara from Meru to the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. It needs to get there while it's still fresh. So a normally 6-hour journey will be nearly cut in half. Kefa is running out of time to start his journey. Loading is taking too long. The drivers have all packed their vehicles in the same place immediately after the Mara arrived. But finally, the packing is done and he is off to Nairobi. So he will be seeing other flying trucks, hopefully in his rearview mirror, on the road to the capital. He is going to have to fly. He is way behind schedule. And many Mara sellers and users are waiting at the end of the line. Britain banned the import of Mara in 2014, classifying it as a type C drug, equivalent to cannabis. The Somali ban reportedly cost farmers 50 tons on the daily market. Somalia recently ended its ban on Kenyan Mara, or cut, as it is called there, in August 2022. In the first 4 days after the ban was lifted, almost $2 million worth of the plant was moved across the border. The flying trucks are on their way to Nairobi. Kefa is getting frustrated with the car. Despite the quick service in the morning, it's experiencing stability problems. There is a problem with this car. What's wrong with it? I think the wheel alignment is off. This is a major risk. Such problems have killed Mara drivers in the past, including someone Kefa knew well. Kefa focuses firmly on the road. About 50 kilometers into our journey, through the meandering slopes, we come to Nithi Bridge, one of the most dangerous black spots in Kenya. Hundreds of lives have been lost here. The 2-kilometer descent is a hair-raising experience, even for the most competent drivers. This is a very dangerous place if you have faulty brakes. My friend died here. He was overtaking just before that corner. When he met 2 vehicles on this other side, he got thrown outside the vehicle through the window. He earns about 4,000 Kenyan shilling per trip, or 80,000 per month. That's the equivalent to about $600. There is no formal competition, but these guys are covering the same ground, passing each other and being passed along the route. Kefa's mechanical problem is causing him to lose ground on the other delivery daredevils. While nobody gets paid for reaching Nairobi first, there are bragging rights and pride. Navigating small towns offers obstacles that can lead to deadly consequences. But that's not going to slow Kefa. Look what they are doing. That guy is crazy. Look. They are nuts. He will make him slam on the brakes. Just wait. Look. What's happening today? If those two continue like this, they will cause an accident. At Muragani Market, more Mura action awaits. Keep it there next to that bag. The packages must be packed tight. Mistakes can send valuable product flying off into nowhere. Joseph Kabura is a wily veteran of the Mura game, and twice Kefa's age. He has seen rookie drivers take bad spills, and civilians paying dearly by getting in the way of the delivery daredevils. He has also had a few scrapes with death himself. The danger is not only countered by taking good care of his vehicle, he asks God for a little help too. I am praying for this driver to drive safely. Give him wisdom to avoid all the obstacles. We pray and believe. Amen. We are Mura guys. This one, we put it here. Its drop-off is Rosambu. Go! Joseph is off to catch up with Kefa in the capital. I started driving these Mira trucks in 1993. Long ago, there were no banks, and so all the Mira money had to be handled in cash. There was a lot of insecurity then. One day, I was shot at by thieves who wanted to take my $450,000. You could see the scar the bullet left. Navigating the small towns that line the route to Nairobi offers opportunities for disaster, as civilians are never ready for the high-speed flying trucks. There used to be so many potholes on the roads. We spent so much time driving. And Mara needs to arrive on time so it's fresh. Because if Mara gets stale, you will lose a ton of money. That makes this work extremely tough. Joseph cuts through Embu town, avoiding some near misses while attempting to catch up. Kefa cuts across the expansive Mwea irrigation scheme. It was set up about 70 years ago, the second oldest in the country. Mwea supplies Kenyans with over 60% of their domestically grown rice. Rice is grown easily here because of the abundant water resources. These farmers aren't planting Mara, and they could live without the delivery vehicles passing through their area. Stima is one of the rice farmers here. He's responsible for about 40 acres of land. Over the weekend, he visits his family and his rice paddy. He heads to the farm with his wife. The rains have failed, and the crops have dried. It's too dry, and we are not able to weed. It has not rained for a while. You see, the ground is already cracked up because there is no water. Mise, you live in Nairobi, and I'm sure you have already forgotten how to farm rice. You can see the work we do here when you're in Nairobi. You have really done a good job here. Even though there is no rain, the rice has grown really well. These farms were established by the colonial government. It was really like slavery here. The work establishing the farms here was quite difficult. A lot of workers ran away. Joseph passes not far from Stima's farm, oblivious to the rice fields, concerned only with making good time. When you go through these towns, there are a lot of turns. You need to be careful. There are pedestrians, cars, motorbikes, and they present danger. So you have to be careful, or you will cause accidents, which reflects on Mara drivers. People say Mara drivers are careless. No, we are very, very careful drivers. As a Mara driver, we are supposed to follow the rules. The reason why Mara is never late is we never make stopovers. You don't have to drive recklessly because the law will punish you. His speed is unmatched, but with maximum care. His focus is on the road. Trailing him are other Mara drivers. Mara is important in the Meru culture. If you want to marry a girl, you bring her father Mara. This will show respect and that you understand our culture. Mara is important to the older people here. If you have a dispute with someone, you might give some Mara to a friend to deliver. Then the dispute will be resolved. No more hard feelings. Joseph's steady hand and experience pays off as he passes another Mara driver speeding towards Nairobi. As a Mara driver, you are not the only one on the road. You really need to prioritize servicing the car. Don't treat it like a small private car. Even while you see us driving fast, we don't drive stupidly. We accelerate where the road is clear. We used to drive even faster. When we went to the airport, when the Mara was going to Britain, we would go as fast as 160. We had to get there fast to keep the Mara fresh for the flight. The highway ends in Nairobi. People are just getting up, with the hellish rush to get through the capital's packed roads about to unfold. Joseph's arrival coincides with Kefa also breaking into the city. Avoiding collisions as Nairobi approaches, it's time to start delivering. On Kefa's co-driver's seat is Peter. Even though it does look like he is just throwing bags out the window, this technique saves time. Upon reaching the capital superhighway, there is a new danger. Motorbikes, or bodabodas, as they are known here. Much of the time, they don't follow the rules of the road, or even common sense. Their driving behavior often causing accidents to happen. Don't just use your helmet, use your brain. This is very careless. You were driving carelessly. I saw you and how you were driving, and you hit me from behind. Kefa has made his first deliveries, but the rest of his load is going to Eastleigh via the Thika Superhighway. He soldiers on through, as this is his job. It's a long and eventful journey. But once again, he's made a successful delivery to the Eastleigh neighborhood of the Kenyan capital, populated primarily by ethnic Somalis, known for their appetite for miraa. In Nairobi, Joseph and Kefa's aggressive tactics are mirrored by public transport, although with a bit more style. It is pomp, color, and music that rules the streets of Nairobi. Matatu is what most public transport in Kenya is called. whether it's big like a bus or small like a minivan. It is a party on wheels for the youth, who love the loudest and the classy matatu. Kenya's tricked-out public transport is famous throughout the world. From pop stars to sports teams and musical genres, matatu owners challenge artists to meet their vision and bring their themes to life. And they pay them well. Young people want flashy, pimped-up vehicles and head-bobbing music. Customizing them adds another $10,000 to $15,000 to the price tag. This vehicle is a tribute to the 5-time NBA champions San Antonio Spurs. The details have to be just right, from the players' faces to the team colors, and great moments to memorialize. Every inch of this vehicle screams Spurs NBA champions. I'm the lights guy. I decorate the matatus. We are at KCI now. This is one of the matatus we are customizing. I love my job because when people see a colorful matatu and appreciate it, I feel proud of my work. I really love my job because it's very interesting. The music has to be lit. Customers demand it, as does the vehicle's owner. They call me Basi. I'm the sound technician for the buses. For example, I'm fixing the mid-speakers for this bus here. I love the customization of matatus, graffiti, and loud music because this is what gives us jobs. The type of the sound system depends with the owner of the vehicle and the quality that they need. Some can take a whole month to fix the system. Others take just a day. The job is finished. The San Antonio Spurs are ready to rock Nairobi. The vehicles ply one route, going back and forth between the same destinations, with the same stops along the way. Passengers will part with 30 to 100 shillings, less than $1 for most rides. The flashiest rides charge higher prices and are in more demand. Some passengers are looking for their musical match, from Afrobeat to Western pop, old school to amapiano, rhythms to reggae. They feel like they're in the club, on the way to work or back home, or actually even out to the club. The Mara trucks have met their match as far as trying to get to places fast, at least here in the big city. My name is Wesley Agoso. I'm a matatu driver. I love my work because it's not like office work that does not have a lot of pressure. If you work well, this is the best job out there. Young people love the colorful matatus because of the music and graffiti. The old buses only do 4 trips a day. My matatu does 8 trips because many people like them, and I'm always done by 7 p.m., while the old buses finish late at night with fewer trips. The old buses take too long to fill in passengers and they are ugly, so young people don't like them. Older generations prefer the calm and quiet ones, like Stima, the rice farmer from Mweya's Matatu. This is a tough job because you have to mind the handcarts and the other pedestrians. He trades the calm and quiet of the fields for the rough and rugged roads of Nairobi, perhaps satisfying his competitive edge. Stima ferries passengers from Gikomba Market to CBD. This is one of the shortest but toughest routes in town. Gikomba is the largest retail market in East Africa, with over 65,000 vendors hawking their wares. Here, it's all about speed. Due to heavy traffic, the 2.8-kilometer distance can take up to an hour. Mwangi, named Stima, due to his aggressive and fast driving, is a favorite of many impatient traders who need to move their goods as fast as possible. Stima has to make enough money to support himself, as well as his family and rice farm back in the village. Among the passengers are Mira traders, who are working to fetch the cut from the city center. Sellers in the Somali-dominated area of Eastleigh jump on Joseph's truck, ready to do business. Customers have been waiting. Here is where the money is made. Those people are traders who will take the Mira to other locations. This is the pickup center. The motorbike guys, everyone comes here to fetch Mira and take it to the retail shops. The journey was successful. God has made it possible for our safety. We didn't encounter any problems, and we were on time. Mira is a good thing. Its benefit is when you want to work. It gives you energy and helps you stay awake for long hours. It's not like beer, which makes you tired. The Mira has not finished its travels. It is popular on the Kenyan coast, including the tourist mecca of Lamu. Once again, Mira needs to be transported, and fast. These traders will haggle to get their best deal, but they better do it quickly. It is 6 hours to the coast, and then a boat ride to Lamu. Remember, it needs to get to the customer tasting fresh. I swear by God, if we don't have Mira, we can't survive. Captain Hassan Boana has been sailing these waters for a quarter century. His routes would often take him to Somalia and the islands of Pate and Lamu. For a decade, he moved Mira mostly to Somalia. Boats would take Mira from Lamu to the Kiamboni border, where Somali boats would pick it up. Transporting to Somalia would cost between 8,000 and 100,000 Kenyan shillings, at the time about $1,000. There used to be even more boats when Mira was going to Somalia, but now the product goes to Mogadishu by air. The Mira trucks arrive at various hours, sometimes at 11 sometimes at noon. The captain is set out to sea to make the final leg of the journey on his boat, the Golden Leaf. The other boats flying by are Captain Hassan's competition. But there are risks. Angry seas are known to turn a boat over, and often both the product and profits can be lost. Boats are expensive, but the Mara profits easily cover their costs and that of fuel. Captain Hassan finally docks. There are plenty of customers here. Even the tourists sometimes partake. Lamu is famed for its culture, which is recognized and protected by the United Nations.
Being able to preserve its culture intact in terms of the lifestyle, how we dress, how we socialize with other people, how we do our things, like construction of houses, carving, selling dhows and all that. So it is part and parcel of the unique Swahili culture, which is still intact.
It is a calm, relaxing place where one can get great seafood. There are no cars here. Locals get around on foot or by donkey. The annual Lamu Festival honors these beasts for their contribution to local lifestyles. There are also many other displays, competitions, and cultural traditions to experience. This is a fast animal. This is the first time we are coming here to compete. This rider is only 13 years old, and we are hoping to win. We had to involve the donkey owners in the festivities. They wanted to know how fast their donkeys run. They have always seen the horse races, but they have never competed. So it was a good chance for them to use the donkeys, and they were very happy. At the Mara shop, the customers find the latest deliveries to be fresh and satisfying. This is my business here in Lamu. When customers come here, they can choose whatever they want. Some really like the soft leaves, while others like the tough ones with small twigs. Whatever they like, they always find it here. We love marah, and when we eat it, we don't sleep. They will have to soak our mattresses because we don't sleep at all. How much today? 900. I have given you a discount of 100 bob. This marah is fresh. It is a #1 quality. You have to check if it has been scorched by the sun or damaged by the heat from the car. All of this marah has just come from Meru. This acts like the fridge. If you don't use these banana leaves, the marah can't get here. If you hold it like this, you can feel that it's very cool to touch. These leaves make sure that the marah gets to Lamu fresh. Back in Meru, Ncibe is in higher spirits than usual. I am not really a patriot. I have a lot of jobs, but I have never been a policeman. I have lived with them for many years, though. I love their parade. The tow truck is rarely seen here in the village. But today, there is an important recovery. It was down there. Look at where the vehicle had hung. What actually happened here? The vehicle went downhill to that area. The beast is the casualty. The owner is shocked, and Ncibe is nowhere to be found. I saw him from there and I screamed. You won't believe what I saw. The vehicle went downhill and turned like this. I asked God, we just came from a funeral the other day and now we have to plan another one. I used a different road, so I was not with my uncle, but he got into a mishap. The car went into that ditch, but I can see the car is fine. My uncle is fine too. I just called him, so there is no big deal. Nothing terrible happened. It was just a bad mistake. Ncibe, Joseph, and Kefa are enjoying a small rest. But tomorrow, they will saddle up their flying trucks again. There is money to be made. The customers' thirst for the plant never stops. And neither do the flying trucks. All hope abandoned for anyone who travels on this path. This is the most dangerous trade route in East Africa, nicknamed Highway to Heaven. Challenges abound for those brave enough to take their trucks to Uganda. Even wild animals stand in the way of a successful delivery. With the thrilling experience of Africa's biggest bullfighting tournament. This is Mission to Collision, the Lunatic Express. Mombasa City, the island has the biggest port in East and Central Africa. The port is often called the City of Merchants, making it the second busiest port in Africa after Durban. It provides a direct link to about 80 other ports worldwide. One of the links, the HMS Silver Lake, is bringing goods from Eastern Europe. The Gulf of Aden feeds into the waters that eventually lap into the Kenyan coast. It is one of the most dangerous sea routes in the world. Ships have to navigate past Yemen through Houthi rebel territory, avoiding missiles fired at any ship that might do business with Israel. They also have to evade Somali pirates demanding huge ransoms. The experienced Filipino crew has charted a course to avoid the variety of potential perils in their path. The Silver Lake ship has finally docked. It is time to load the cargo. Delivering in Mombasa is both simple and efficient. The real danger to the cargo starts when it hits the roads, leaving the port city for Uganda's capital and points in between. Nearly half the cargo arriving is headed for Kampala and towns further on, this route accounting for $1 billion in merchandise. It is a 1,200-kilometer drive to Uganda's capital. To fully experience the thrills, spills, and chills of the route, we join Josephat Gitau for his latest run. I'm fueling to go to Kampala, but the fuel I will get here will only take me as far as Mwalaba. From there, I'll fuel again to get to Kampala. Josephat has been guiding vehicles over to Kenya's East African neighbor for 12 years, starting in the business when he was just 22. He has loaded his truck with 3 tons of cargo. Josephat isn't the only one heading to Uganda. Paul Kahugu has been plying this route for 15 years. He is one of the drivers Josephat will pass and be passed by along the way. Paul's truck is nicknamed Turi Amumbi, meaning we are sons and daughters of Mother Mumbi. But there has already been a delay to his journey. We are changing tires. We had some punctures, but we have fixed that. I hope we will get to Nairobi today. Josephat is married with a son and a daughter whom he misses terribly when he is away. I was talking to the kids back home and the family. They are all fine. 390 liters of fuel, costing nearly 80,000 Kenyan shillings, or roughly $600, just to get moving. Thankfully, his employer is picking up the tab. And now we're off. Both Josephat and Paul have a long route to travel. In ideal conditions, the delivery only takes 3 days, although 4 is more common due to traffic and other obstacles. Paul made a side bet with Josephat on who will make it to Kampala first, and he has already fallen behind. It's time to speed up. Josephat is aware that he's behind schedule and is currently navigating through the highway to hell. Speed limits for these big rigs hover around 80 kilometers per hour, although in reality, drivers go as fast as their bosses allow. Getting the goods to Ugandan businesses and consumers is a huge industry. Rail capacity is limited. This means 1,600 cargo trucks cross the Kenya-Uganda border every day. Kenya completed its SGR, or Standard Gauge Railway, in 2017. A Chinese contractor used 25,000 Kenyan workers to construct the $3.6 billion train line from Mombasa to Nairobi. In the end, the volume of goods coming through Mombasa is just too great for the railroad to handle. Unlike Paul, Josephat hasn't named his truck, but he comes across as a bit philosophical when asked what he might call it.
Only God knows.
God only knows. Because as human beings, we plan a lot of things, but only the Almighty God can make those plans come to be. He appears confident, even happy behind the wheel. Everyone has their mind and a reason why they love their job. When you get along with your employer, when you talk to each other, there is mutual respect and peace. When it comes to salary, you are paid on time. Work goes smoothly, and when you communicate that the vehicle has a problem and it is fixed on time, you find that you have motivation and willingness to work. As the highway passes through the Tsavo National Park, we quickly see what kind of unpleasant surprises nature might throw in our path. An elephant approaches, a bit too close for comfort. Lions are still in the bushes. It's not like they disappeared. They are still there, so in the odd chance you get stuck out there and you decide to walk around, the lions or leopards might attack you. While animals can get in the way, there are challenges posed by other humans that worry Paul more. He has already confronted one, not a reckless driver or a large animal. He has run into the long arm of the law. This place is called Mariakani Weighbridge. There are many problems. I was arrested because of my weight. We were fixing the airbag so that we could weigh in at the weighbridge. There were a few pieces of wood that we forgot to remove while fixing the airbag. They believe it interfered with the weighing, and that's why we were arrested and are going to court today. It's Paul's first time in court, and it ends up costing the truck owner $1,000, which is going to eat into the owner's profits on this run. I have a big appetite today. I went to court and got released, but the fine was enormous. I'm not even sure if I still have a job. Why are you serving me only one piece of meat? God is in control. I pray for the boss not to fire me because this is a big loss, but I will talk to him. For Paul, it has just cost him precious time, and he could lose his bet with Josaphat. But not everything is going smoothly. Josaphat is in Maungu, and there has been an accident. 10 Kenyatta University students have died on the spot in a head-on collision between a bus and a trailer near Maungu on the Mombasa Road. Right here in Maungu, the bus driver just decided to overtake. He overtook without caution and caused the accident. But if they cared about each other, the trailer driver would have created a little space for the bus driver to overtake. The accident could have been avoided. Of the 54 students on an academic trip to the coast, 10 students died at the scene of the accident, and 1 died while receiving treatment at the Moi County Referral Hospital in Voi. A total of 21 were seriously injured. 7 critically injured students were airlifted.
We are so heartbroken. It's a gap that honestly nobody's going to feel it, but we are just trusting in God.
This is the first of many accidents on the route to Kampala. Josaphat has witnessed this several times. Of course, some commit major offenses on the road, like overtaking carelessly, like the driver can see an oncoming vehicle but lacks the patience, doesn't have the patience to wait, and overtakes carelessly, and causes an avoidable accident. It becomes very painful to lose loved ones. On the road, everyone should be a brothers and sisters keeper, because you don't know who is in the other vehicle. It could be your brother or sister. So, in short, be a brother and sister's keeper. Of course, you have to think about your family, especially being the breadwinner in your home. If you got into an accident and got hurt, knowing no one else can take care of your family and provide for their needs, when you hear of such accidents, you can't help but worry. While the road north is not pristine, Josephat has traveled these miles so many times. He knows the obstacles well. I have heard of drivers being hijacked. The driver goes missing. When the vehicle is recovered, it is empty. The cargo was stolen. When investigated, the driver is found murdered and his body dumped somewhere. It is risky. It is not always smooth sailing, especially if you are carrying valuable items like coffee, tires, electronics, medicines, and such things. You need to be extremely careful. Paul is acutely conscious of the risk of robbery during his journey. Yet he remains resolute in his determination to catch up with Josephat. We have overstayed with the client cargo, but for now, we keep driving till I feel exhausted, and then we rest. Have we even showered? Then we eat. The journey is very long. 200 kilometers are already on the odometer, and there are 1,000 more kilometers to cover. In his line of duty, one thing Paul understands clearly: being free of stress is essential. You can't do this job when you are stressed, or else you may cause an accident. I am so exhausted, mentally and physically, so I want us to ride for a while and sleep. As the birds sing on their way to their nests, nothing captivates Josephat more than the beaming orb of the sun slipping beneath the horizon. He has to step on the gas pedal to finish the long stretch through the Tsavo wilderness. But, God only knows, is having a little problem. Let there be light. The lack of it forces Josephat to pull over and check things out. To keep safe from being attacked by wild animals, he pulls over to the nearest pub. The right headlight is not functioning. Big disappointment. This bulb is new and is still in good working condition. I don't know why they are not working. Josephat will spend the night here, in the middle of Tsavo Park, the one thing he dreads most. I'm wondering what happened to it. I changed it the day before yesterday. It hasn't even been 3 days. For now, the security of the cargo is assured. The wildlife will play guard. Just a few meters from the God only knows truck, another accident happens. A truck carrying timber swerved to avoid an obstacle, leading to the driver sustaining serious injuries. He is quickly taken to Voi Hospital. Traffic builds up as vehicles are forced to go off-road. Tell the idiot to dim the light. It's a fantastic new day filled with excitement as Josephat drives through Mtito one day, which means a forest of vultures. After the mechanical problem, I slept well and woke up fine. I switched on the engine and they were working again. Even the bulb that was not working yesterday is now back to normal. Vehicles are not fun, even though we think they are. They sometimes have a lot of issues. Paul has just woken up and is getting ready to hit the road again. Good morning. You know, this is my house. I comfortably sleep inside here. The only thing missing is a toilet. Josephat is easing up on the pedal as the weather has deteriorated. When it's like this, you have to slow down because you might find a vehicle stopped abruptly on the road and they haven't used the road traffic triangle or tree branches that others use to alert other motorists. Not only is it misty, but God only knows, has lost control of its brakes. A very dangerous situation. There is the automatic brake. If the sensors are not working properly, that's when you find that there is a problem. If brakes are not engaging simultaneously when you apply them, you find the vehicle is pulling itself to one side, so they need to be fixed to work simultaneously. Long stretches of road have plenty of time for contemplation. Josephat often thinks of his wife and kids, and sometimes others in his family, especially the brother he lost. So, during that time, thieves had stolen a car from a place called Kariobangi. The police had information that it had been taken to the Dandora area. The first police on site were new to the area. And since young men were being harassed a lot by the police when they saw them, he ran. They thought he was one of the thieves and shot him. That is how he lost his life. It hurts a lot because I have no one to call a brother. He also wasn't married and did not have kids. Had he had kids, it would be comforting knowing I have my brother's child somewhere. It hurts to know I have no one to call brother. He was 26 years old. As Josephat heads towards Imali, Eunice Mueni, a local trader, braves the speeding behemoths by approaching them to make her living. You just have to be very watchful and aware of your surroundings. If you notice that the vehicles are in excess or overtaking, you get out of the road. Your colleague can push you, and you drop your goods and are stepped on by people, and that's a loss. But we square it up and move on. Justice sells onions here, taking the same risks as Eunice. God just helps us. Josephat carefully passes vendors, appreciating the convenience they supply, thus meeting the needs of the family. But the truckers on these roads all work to their schedules. Josephat is proud of his spotless safety record on the road. No wrecks, no robberies. While steering, God only knows, another truck driver has lost his life. May his soul rest in peace. It seems the brakes of his truck failed and got into an accident, and he hit the other from the rear. It is another pressing reminder to fix his truck's brakes. In no time, his truck comes to a halt once again, due to yet another mechanical issue. It might be the engine brake is stuck inside. When the engine brake is stuck inside, it blocks the system that is supposed to release smoke. Yes, it has to be taken to the mechanic. Paul overtakes Josephat at this moment, and he is on his way to Nairobi, Kenya's capital. We are in Athi River, heading to Mlolongo. Paul's truck, Turia Mumbi, needs servicing. The best mechanics are in Mlolongo. We have arrived in Mlolongo. I want to organize my mechanics so that we can change some tires. There are some I want to change, let alone the ones we fixed at Mombasa. As you travel, the tires tear. Josephat is making a mental calculation of how much time this will cost him. He drives through Machakos, and he is less than 100 kilometers from Nairobi, the Kenyan capital. He still hopes to win that bet with Paul. But just like Paul, he pulls over in Molongo. It is here that he will have his truck inspected by the mechanics. Mechanic Paul Macau has been fixing trucks for more than 15 years, and he has a bad feeling about this one. The problem with this vehicle is that everything to do with the braking system should be overhauled. The headlights also need to be fixed. Check if the headlights are working. There is a thing called FM. It was almost dead. There was a short circuit on one side. That's why the lights weren't working, but I fixed it. Paul has already lost about 15% of the revenue from this delivery to the authorities. The last thing he needs is to be behind bars again. Paul has a soft side too, an artistic side. While he sees his current profession as a driver as the way to go, he still dreams of being a famous musician. Singing is something I love to do. The only problem is that I do not have time to sing. There is this song I sang recently about the work I do. Sometimes we leave our wives behind. They think we are earning a lot of money and looking for hookups. Sometimes they think we don't care about them. Or she might think all you do with that much money is drink alcohol, women, and everything else. Does he sing about the Lunatic Express? Well, he does sing about his job, he says. This song is about people like me. Over at the mechanics yard, Turia Mumbi is operable again, though time is now against Paul, thus forcing him to travel the next day. Josephat is still having issues with his truck. The problem is the brake system. There is an object called the regulator. It is not working as it should. It was supposed to be replaced, but we've run out of time. I don't think we will continue today. If it can be fixed, I'll continue my journey tomorrow. Underneath the radiant moon, the dedicated mechanics are working tirelessly to repair the truck. Neither they nor Josephat know that Paul is solving his own set of mechanical problems. It is the second day on the road. Our singer might want to break into a verse of many Kenyans' favorite song, Kenny Rogers' The Gambler. So far, he appears to be winning his bet with Josephat, as Paul may see Kampala soon. Only if nothing unexpected happens. At the Gitaro Junction, a truck is overturned. It is loaded with fertilizer, a highly valuable commodity. The trailer was headed upwards in that direction, and because the cargo was too heavy, it overturned. Who doesn't like free things? Certainly the farmers are happy. It will be a bumper harvest for sure. This is the trailer which has caused the accident. It was being driven at such a high speed that the driver was unable to control it. These sacks, which have been scattered all over, are the same ones that have fallen on top of that small car. And I was behind it. It was God who saved my life. This one was driving downwards, and then the fertilizer being ferried fell on his car. That is how this small car found itself in an accident here. Paul is back in the truck and is heading to Mai Mahiu. Meanwhile, Josephat is still stuck in Molongo. Paul and his colleague Kevo have effectively diagnosed the brake system problem, while Josephat takes a moment to rest his eyes before hitting the road again. It is time to test the brakes. The brakes are working perfectly now. The truck is in good condition now. The brakes are fixed, and the journey can again commence. Welcome to Nairobi. The vehicle is okay. We're off to Kampala. Now we approach Mai Mahiu, the area truck drivers fear the most. This road has many problems because when there is traffic or when a truck breaks down on the road has much traffic because people lack patience. The brakes are fixed because with such roads you can't afford faulty brakes. I'm happy they were repaired. At least the journey will be smooth because the brakes are good. Mai Mahiu means hot water in the Kikuyu dialect, or impassable in the Maasai language. This area is a popular stop for tourists on their way to the Masai Mara for safaris. Here, they catch a great view of the grandeur of the Great Rift Valley. For those driving heavy vehicles, Mai Mahiu is a treacherous stretch, with tight turns, narrow roads, and loads of vehicles competing for space. For God only knows, this could be tricky. To make it worse, the rains have begun. It could even become a dead end. One of the fellow truckers has seen his cargo overturned. It's causing a major traffic jam, delaying many other drivers. Rescue crews have already arrived and are working fast to clear the road. A policeman is also on site. Get the truck out of here. The truck was a few inches from rolling down the hill. Luckily, the driver escaped with minor injuries. The first step is completed. Now the wreckage will be placed on top of another truck. Back up slowly. Down, down, slowly. It fits perfectly. Don't go, that place is not safe. Don't go over there. I can't go any closer. You cannot expect the truck to go forward and then reverse. It has to move forward. But the chain is still up there. What should I do, remove it? Yes, I have a flight. I've been waiting for 2 hours. Now, who is going to pay for my new ticket to fly? He'll move to this side. I have told him what to do. You can go together. This truck can move now. You will drive on this lane and he will be on the other one. You will coordinate the truck driver. While the disruption with the overturned truck continues, elsewhere things are a bit more peaceful. Prayer time. Welcome to the Traveler's Chapel. Measuring 15 by 8 feet, it is the smallest church in Africa. It was built by Italians in the 1940s, by prisoners of war during World War II, supervised by Imperial British forces. The pentagon-shaped Mai Mahiu Church is adorned with Latin inscriptions and symbols. The chapel also features a 71-year-old mural of the nativity scene behind the altar. The Mai Mahio Church is a profound representation of what the soul can achieve amid adversity. Back on the road, there is still danger in this area. A second truck has veered off the road, and the rescue mission is underway. The prevailing sentiment is that people are increasingly displaying their frustration. This road is for everyone. If they want to close it, they should have informed us earlier. No one informed us. Finally, the road is clear, and vehicles are moving again. But before they can overly rejoice, another disaster occurs. At the foothills of Mai Mahiu, trucks have to navigate flash floods. A dam burst the previous night and killed more than 40 people. It also closed the Naivasha-Nakuru highway. Traffic is moving slowly. Josephat is behind schedule, both in what his boss expects and how he guesses he is doing in his bet with Paul. Turi Amumbi experiences another flat tire, which forces Paul to pull over. Another tire has some issues. We are fixing it here in Mai Mahiu. God only knows, under the stewardship of Josephat, regains its position. After promptly fixing the tire, Paul is back on the road, hoping to close the gap in the bet. This is where the floods killed many people. You can see the trench. He almost caught up to Josephat, who has already left Nakuru, the city of flamingos, Kenya's fourth largest city. Leaving Nakuru, we are about to head through a heavy accident zone. Fatigue is beginning to affect Paul. Many truck drivers cause accidents due to lack of sleep. That is why I am telling you it is ignorance. Look at this accident, for example. Do you see that the container is down already? If you have a load and you know what you are ferrying, can you maneuver like that when you know your container will overturn? Or if another driver has pushed you too far from the road so they can continue with their journey and just stop where you are, you already know your truck will overturn. Stop where you are and let them hit your trailer, if nothing else. Welcome to Salga, a transit town. Such places host many mechanics who repair the rigs while the truckers rest. This place is called Salga. We fix all types of cars. At the moment, we are working on this truck heading to Uganda. Daniel has put his wrench to hundreds of big rigs already, with less than half the year gone. They call me Kawaya. I am an electrician. I fix car headlights, alternators. Mostly, I do everything. Kawaya, and indeed the motley crew of mechanics in Zalga, may not seem like significant characters when you meet them. Kawaya likes to drink or smoke some weed now and again, killing time at truck stops in this nowhere land. But drivers like Josephat and Paul put their lives in his hands. Kawaya's skills keep their machines in top condition, or else one of the deadly crashes we've seen could await them. God only knows, and Turi Amumbi have to rest. It is their third day on the road. We are at a place called Saga, Nakuru County. We spent the night here. It is now morning and I am getting ready to proceed. We thank God because we woke up healthy and we can start our journey now. Salga is perhaps the most notorious black spot in the country, if the number of road accidents that have happened along this stretch is anything to go by. The reason for this town of Salga having so many trucks is insecurity. Most vehicles don't go up the hill at night because of criminals. If your vehicle is not strong enough or fast enough to go up the hill, you will get attacked. The criminals break into your vehicle or cut open the tent and steal the goods in transit, which is a big loss. It also means you will get in trouble or even get arrested because you would be the first suspect. So people prefer to spend the night in Salga instead of risking their lives. The 14-kilometer stretch on the Nakuru-Eldoret Highway has become synonymous with gruesome accidents that have claimed hundreds of lives over the years. Concerted efforts by the government to curb fatal crashes on the notorious black spot have yielded some results. The move to a dual carriageway to separate traffic with a movable barrier has been bearing fruit. Actually, when you look at the middle of the road, there is a wall constructed there. The reason to have the wall there is because so many accidents were happening on this road. So they had to construct a wall to separate the road and make it a two-way to reduce the accidents. At the same time, when going down the road, there are many bumps that act as barriers to keep people from speeding because they used to speed a lot and accidents were many. But as of now, accidents have decreased significantly. Paul confidently makes his way up the hill, just a few meters behind Josephat. This area is extremely dangerous. You can see there is a lorry that has overturned there. Many accidents occur in this place. It is a very sloppy hill, and if you are not familiar with it, you can cause an accident. Look at that one. It is finished. No one survived. Every time Paul passes through Salga, the memory of a tragic incident deeply affecting him comes flooding back. We used to drive recklessly. We could not differentiate between job and leisure. We were driving fast and crazy. One day, our colleague died all of a sudden. The experienced drivers told us to stop driving like that. We started driving slowly. That's why I don't speed. One of the most tragic accidents along the Mombasa-Malaba route took place on this Salga stretch. More than 100 people lost their lives. We are going up to Sachangwan, the worst place where an oil tanker fell, resulting in the loss of 100 and more lives, many of whom were residents of this area. So it is advisable to always go up or down this road very carefully. As we view the passing scenery, we find out that Josephat spots his dad's truck on the other side of the highway. Sometimes I meet my father when I am making one of my trips. Then I will make a plan to greet him. Sometimes I will also meet him in Mombasa while waiting for my next consignment. I'm happy because that is the only work my father has been doing. It is also my job. God Only Knows makes it to the top of Salga without any hitches. Josephat loves the captivating tree scenery of the Mau forest, especially during the lush rainy season. But it wouldn't be a normal day on the road if we didn't come across another incident. A truck has rammed into a matatu carrying passengers, killing everyone. The truck driver survived. The driver veered into my lane, making it hard for me to avoid a collision. If you assess the crash, he was at fault. Luckily, I was not speeding. I could have been killed. As Josephat drives past the accident, the sight of lives lost was truly horrifying and heartbreaking. Paul is also traveling across a perilous part of the road on his journey. This place is called Equator, and it is a black spot. I was ascending this hill and an accident occurred. A person died on the spot. A young boy we used to work with in another company. He died at this place. Just the other day, almost 10 vehicles collided here, and 3 people lost their lives. It is a very dangerous black spot. One car was not in motion in that corner, and the other one was speeding without knowing that car was there. So it was a head-on collision. Both died on the spot. Josephat also had a very close call. A truck ferrying goods from Congo was involved in a tragic accident. 3 people died on the spot. God only knows, narrowly survived. The Congo truck seemed to have a lot of damage to the cabin. There must be some injured people. Chimoy Hill is a major challenge for the trucks heading from Kenya to Uganda. Chimoy is the most dangerous hill going up and dangerous going down, especially when it rains, so you have to be very careful. But not as risky as the rest of the road to Uganda. With over 1,500 trucks crossing daily, the Uganda border posts are busy. Josephat and Paul are in Uganda, the land of matoke. Kampala, the capital city of Uganda, is known for its abundance of food. In our market, we sell good chicken, sweet plantain, water, meat, matoke, pineapples, cassava, and mice. But trailer drivers support us a lot. Trailer drivers are not bad people. They buy fairly and sometimes sleep in here. They eat chicken a lot. Kampala also has a vibrant music scene and a popular mode of transport, the boda boda. And it's time to show off. Besides riding a bike, one of the best things to do while you're in Uganda is to serve a traditional meal of matoke. Matoke is a traditional Ugandan dish made from bananas. After 4 days on the road, witnessing accidents, encountering mechanical problems, threats of arrest, and enduring bad weather, God only knows and Turi Amambi have made it to Kampala. Despite the challenges, Josephat is content for having delivered the cargo on time. Paul calls his rival to concede the bet. I am so tired I think I lost weight. We have arrived in Kampala, despite all the challenges we have faced, but the most important thing is that the cargo arrived safely. We thank God for the good journey. We have been able to reach our goal safe and sound. Despite finishing minutes behind Josephat, Paul feels satisfied that he has completed his delivery. He always feels good when he successfully finishes his job. How are you, my brother? I have faced difficulties on the road, including being arrested. Nevertheless, you arrived safely here in Kampala. As the demand for goods in Uganda increases, Josephat and Paul are thrilled to have successfully finished their journeys. God only knows and Turi Amambi have completed another treacherous journey on the highway to heaven. During the entire filming period of Lunatic Express, there were more than 20 accidents. According to data from the Kenya National Transport and Safety Authority, more than 600 people died in road accidents over a span of 2 months. More than 50% of the fatalities were on the Mombasa-Malaba route. But Paul and Josephat were not among them. They are clever survivors who have earned themselves a delicious lunch in Uganda, and who, in another week or so, will undoubtedly be back on East Africa's most dangerous road, pushing their luck and avoiding deadly accidents along the way. This is the Wild North, the most dangerous route in all of Kenya. It's about speed, defensive driving, and avoiding fierce bandits. We have gunshot injuries. This is a war zone. Home to East Africa's only true desert, the Chalbi. If the weather isn't harsh enough, then gun-toting bandits or the savage landscape roads will try to get you on the region's most dangerous transport corridors. This is the Wild North. Sunrise, the spectacular magnificence of dawn. This is the beauty of Lake Turkana. Almost everyone here is a fisherman. Here, fish is life. The fish from Lake Turkana are tastier compared to those from other lakes in Kenya. Lake Turkana has two important harbors, Kalakol on the western shore and Illoret on the eastern shore. At Kalakol, truckers have started to arrive. They are the second and most important link. 60-year-old Morris, nicknamed Dodo, meaning a slippery guy, is a truck driver. His reputation as a slippery guy stemmed from his exceptional ability to navigate through dangers, horned over decades of driving experience. On the eastern side of Turkana is the Illoret region, parched due north, close to the border of Kenya and Ethiopia. Illoret in Marsabit County is one of the last remaining vestiges of a desert lifestyle, still frozen in time. But do not let this fool you. The expansive desert nothingness, gun-slinging bandits, and an almost non-existent road transport network are the order of the day. This area is the playground of truck driver Patrick Kimani, nicknamed Jungle Warrior, one of the few drivers who are brave enough to conquer this unforgiving terrain. Dodo and Patrick both transport fish from Lake Turkana to Busia, the border town between Kenya and Uganda. Fishermen are the first link in a conveyor-like chain to ensure the fish reaches the market. Time for fishermen to set their sails. Each boat ride across the lake is a potential danger. Crocodiles. Lake Turkana is home to the largest colony of Nile crocodiles in the world.
It's now a question of the fishermen looking for fish there and crocodiles also looking for fish. So you find that in those areas where now there's a lot of crocodile attack.
The world's largest desert lake dominates the landscape. This is Lake Turkana, nicknamed the Jade Sea.
Mary.
Welcome to one of the fish harbors, Long Etch Island, where most of the fish is processed before it is carried off to Kalakol port for transportation. Peter is one of the biggest suppliers of fish. The water level of the lake has risen, causing fish to retreat into the dense vegetation, where it is difficult to cast our nets. He is working with his two wives. It is a fishy family affair. Time to pack it. A bale carries 5,500 pieces or more, and it's no easy task. The suppliers are running late, and Dodo must reach his destination in time. No delivery in sight. Patience is a virtue, and more so when it comes to waiting for fishermen. With tensions and anxiety flaring, Dodo decides to calm his nerves by taking a nap underneath his truck. As Dodo swims in his dreams, loaders enjoy a Bollywood movie at the Calico movie theater while they wait for the fishermen. On the eastern side of Turkana is the Illirit region. Patrick transports fish from Illirit to Busia, the western edge border town of Kenya and Uganda, a journey of approximately 1,200 kilometers.
We're going to take approximately 24 hours from here to Marsabit. To Busia, it's roughly 2 to 3 days.
From the different sides of the lake, drivers are always in a competition on whose product will reach the market first. While Patrick's truck is being loaded, a mechanic is also checking to ensure that it is in mint condition before the journey begins. Like in many harbors in Lake Turkana, nothing is ever on time, so Patrick has to make haste for the loaders. Yusuf is Patrick's assistant and the designated navigator for the trip. With the product finally on board, the load is firmly secured and ready for the journey ahead. Since no passenger vehicles are plying this route, Patrick creates space for passengers who will be ferried on the roof of the truck to earn some extra income.
So we are set to go. Everything is loaded in place. We are starting the journey right now. It's a journey not for the faint-hearted, but only the strong. It's very tough.
The first leg of Patrick's journey starts from Illirit, a distance of about 500 kilometers of the most horrendous roads. Patrick is one of only 10 drivers who ply this route. Conditions of the road make this journey, which normally take about 12 hours, double the amount of time to drive through. I have been doing this truck driving for 10 years. The notoriety of this place is simply a desolate landscape with no people, just you, the road, and your God. Maneuvering through the gullies and sand pits is a very delicate affair. Patrick is proud of his truck. That's why he has nicknamed it the Jungle Warrior. Every now and then, Yusuf helps guide Patrick on how to navigate through the treacherous terrain. What motivates me is that truck driving is an adventure for me. Secondly, I feed my family through this work. That's why I am behind the steering wheel for 24 hours. In the jungle, you can travel 400 kilometers in 4 days. However, when it rains, that signals the end of the journey. Uncharacteristic of many people who drive this area, Patrick loves his job wholeheartedly. To him, a touch of violence adds spice to his life. I was once hijacked and beaten along with my turnboy. We have witnessed worse things on this road, and we bear gunshot injuries. You know that the front tip becomes very hot when a gun is fired. They tortured me with the muzzle, leaving me with scars and enduring trauma. We sustained injuries, but managed to escape. Since most of the community is armed with weapons, A silent thought that the truce can be broken at any moment always lingers in the air. This makes it even more dangerous for innocent people like Patrick, who might be caught up in the crossfire while on duty. One significant challenge we face is the bandits who set ambushes by strategically placing stones and debris on the road. The already poor road conditions make it exceedingly difficult to navigate quickly, putting everyone at risk. Patrick has been a driver for 17 years, 10 of which driving along this route. To him, this is an epic adventure that enables him to provide for his family. If I weren't a driver, I would choose to be a soldier, as I have a deep passion for the jungle environment. Despite the challenges of insecurity, I find a sense of comfort and belonging in the jungle. The route passes through sections of the famed Sibiloe National Park. Sibiloe is often referred to as the cradle of mankind. It hosts several important archaeological sites, such as the Kobifora, which several fossils have been found that have contributed to understanding human evolution.
This is now the Sibiloe National Park, this side of the road.
I love wild animals. They're part of the travel adventure. Tourists come to see impalas and cheetahs at Kobifora. Back on Long Edge Island, packers are moving quickly to package the fish. It is a team effort that needs precision and accuracy. Then, to compress it, the Turkana jump. Ready for Calico Port, the gateway from Turkana. The boat is the only means of transport between the islands and the mainland. As the boat rides across the calm water, a stark reminder that the water level is rising, with trees sticking out of the middle of the lake. Every day, danger looms. The water level has risen by over 3 meters within the last 3 years, displacing thousands of people. Long Edge Island and the town of Calico might be swallowed up by the lake in the near future if the water level continues to rise. With the boat finally arriving at the port, no one is happier than Dodo, who has been waiting for over 6 hours. The boat has just arrived. This is one of the problems we encounter. Loaders are eager to offload and pack the fish. Place it inside the water. Hey, watch out for the engine. The engine is safe. Our survival depends on this crucial work. The sole opportunity we have is to load fish. One load of fish is almost 200 kilograms, but with many hands on it, it goes very easily. This shows the strength of the men. Packing the fish ready for transportation is a work of art. Only experts with vast knowledge are allowed in the packing process, because even the tiniest of spaces matters before the fish can undertake the perilous journey of the region. Dodo's assistant and co-driver Isaac is also on hand to make sure the loading is done properly. Hey, what are you doing? Why do we need a tall guy in that corner? Andrew is one of the porters and also an aspiring musician. His musical journey is yet to pick up, so he makes do with loading in the meantime. Time is against Dodo. He has to make haste to try and catch up with Patrick, who has already started his journey. The loading is now complete. I am heading to Busia. We are a convoy of 2 trucks, and the other will head to Ciara. This journey will last 2.5 days. A final check of the truck is done to ensure that everything is fine before heading off. Dodo cannot forget his mat, a handy companion, which he packs behind the driver's cabin. I am now ready to head to Busia. It's a border-to-border journey, from the border of Ethiopia to the Busia border with Uganda. From Kaloko, Dodo will drive to Lodwar, the largest town in the desert region. I'm now heading towards Busia. With over a decade of years driving through this region, he was the pioneering driver of the Turkana-Busia route. Throughout the years, he has seen a metamorphosis of the road infrastructure from unpaved roads into one of the most maintained tarmac roads in the region. The road used to be rough. There were bandits everywhere, but now things have changed. This is security. Turkana is Canaan. This is Canaan. However, no one cares about Turkana. Overlooking the great town, it's the Christ the Redeemer. The statue stands tall and majestic, as if bearing testament to the dynamic landscapes of Turkana. Turkana is a region of ancient history and culture. This is an annual festival to celebrate this, called the Tubanglor, meaning welcome back home. It is a blend of culture, music, and fashion that attracts visitors from all over Kenya and beyond. The nation's Cabinet Secretary of Tourism, Rebecca Miano, is also present to promote the region to the world.
The oldest remains of a human being were found here in Turkana. Anyone who visits this destination is actually coming home.
The festival aims to cultivate lasting peace. The most powerful message is simple: lay down your arms. As Dodo cuts through the town, a motorbike accident occurs. 5 young men were riding on a motorbike. Pedestrians express their anger as the young men deal with the pain. They need to be rushed to the hospital. Hurry up, get in the truck. We take you to the hospital. And thanks to the police, as their motto dictates, service to the people. The visit to the hospital comes with an escort. Compared to truck drivers who work in Kalokol, the road infrastructure is better than the one in the Illirit area. On the eastern side, after a strenuous drive across the Sibiloi Park, Patrick's jungle warrior comes to a halt for his first service check. Every few kilometers, Patrick has to check the condition of his tires. Due to the heat and hard rocks on the track, the tires tend to burst, so they have to be checked and maintained. We're at the Turkana North Horde Junction. This is the major checkpoint. This is where we check the truck, stretch, and move around. Looking ahead, I believe the journey will be quite pleasant. First of all, the weather is good, with no signs of rain, which is often one of our biggest challenges. Additionally, we are traveling at an optimal time, which should contribute to a smooth trip. Despite the rough terrain, trucks here easily do more trips than Kalokol. The difference between Kalokol and Illirit is that Illirit has plenty of fish, whereas Kalokol suffers from overfishing. Marsabit County is one of Kenya's 47 devolved regions. It is larger than Belgium and Turkey combined. Marsabit is an Amharic word that means home. Several hours later, Patrick arrives at a police checkpoint at a place called Dorate. Dorate is an oasis, one of the only sources of water in this desert region. This oasis has been a battleground between the two communities of Gabra and Dasanach. And as Patrick drinks a cup of water, he and his passengers are weary of hostilities that arise without notice. Back in Turkana, along Dodo's route, bandits are on the prowl. It's a bandit attack, and no one is safe, including Dodo and his co-driver Isaac. It is presently a gunfight zone between police and bandits. And there is a crackdown on bandits who want to steal livestock from the Turkana. The police are ready to smoke them out. It's war. It's bitter. It's revenge. In 2012, bandits massacred over 40 police officers in one night. 2 years later, 21 policemen were killed in the Kapendo Turkana region. This is one of the deadliest places to be a police officer. With a lack of security, school-going children sometimes get caught up in the crossfire between the warring factions. The fighting extends deep into the night. Bandits also attack a bus plying this route, and one passenger gets shot in response. The government has instituted a curfew to ensure the safety and security of all citizens. The curfew infuriates Dodo because he prefers to travel at night. Not being able to travel also reduces the number of trips they can make in a week. This route has been dangerous every year that I have been driving. For Patrick, he is lucky he can drive throughout the night, but he has to make a stop to allow one of his passengers to pray. On day 2, as the sun rises, Patrick continues to lead the jungle warrior down this dangerous route, showcasing his unwavering determination and courage. Luckily, he managed to pass through some of the dangerous stops on this road, where he previously had a rough time. We were attacked between Dorate and North Hor in Kulume. They shot the fuel tank and tire, injuring us. That's why we prefer day travel. From North Hor, the journey proceeds southwards towards Marsabit. Here, he will traverse through Chalbi Desert, the only true desert in East Africa. The Chalbi Desert extends over 100,000 square kilometers. It is an imposing landscape of nothingness as far as the eye can see. Legend has it that this was a lake that dried up.
And then it dried up.
These rocks resemble volcanic lava deposits, likely formed by eruptions near Marsabit Mountain. During the rainy season, the road becomes even worse. Just a few weeks ago, Patrick was a victim of the downpour. During the rainy season, you can spend a whole week on this road because it is very slippery. For instance, 3 weeks ago, I spent 6 days on it. So this journey requires you to prepare for anything, because if you lack basic needs, you will be in trouble. Typical of most truck drivers, Patrick has been fortunate enough not to have been involved in any road accidents. The stretch from Serico is about 400 kilometers of rough terrain, which is the most challenging part of this journey due to poor road conditions and insecurity in the area. Along this route, Patrick finds a car which has become the latest victim of the bad route. If no help comes, they could be stuck here for up to a week in an ever-volatile security risk area. We experienced an accident, and without a good car on this road, travel may not be possible. As they approach Sigel, he finally hits the tarmac, much to his relief. The town of Marsabit is just a few kilometers away. We are in Sigel on our way to Marsabit. We are done with the rough road. We will have a smooth ride. In the town of Marsabit, he stops to rest and also to do a minor service of his truck to ensure that everything is fine. We've arrived in Marsabit and need to check the truck. It's best to rest here for a bit due to fatigue. Lucas is the mechanic who will be servicing the truck for Patrick. He is very experienced in servicing trucks that traverse the harsh Marsabit landscape. We need to check the turbo and perform a few additional services. As Patrick takes a break from driving, Dodo and Isaac resume their journey. They are still on high alert for bandits. The Kakong stretch, nicknamed Lami Niusi, meaning Black Road, is about 30 kilometers of danger. Here, no one drives slowly. If you mention Lami Niusi to any driver, they often panic. If you clear this section, you are safe to get to either Lodwar or Kitale. This area, the border between the Pokot and Turkana communities, has seen fierce fighting, resulting in many lives lost, including police at a former checkpoint. Consequently, the bandits here are very dangerous. This school stands as a beacon of hope. The government's initiative to build schools is bringing the Turkana and Pokot communities together, enabling their children to learn side by side. Along this stretch, another school also promotes unity. I sincerely appreciate the government's efforts. The cessation of conflict has paved the way for our children to thrive in shared learning environments. As they approach Marriage Point, Dodo instructs Isaac to do a last-minute check of the tires to ensure everything is okay. We are checking the tires before the steep descent. The friction can cause them to heat up, and failing to check could result in a blowout. By checking them, we ensure everything is in good condition. This picturesque mountain cape is the home of the feared Pokot bandits, who wreak havoc across the pass. Dodo himself has been a victim of banditry. I have encountered bandits more than 2 times. One of my friends was shot and killed as I watched. There was a time I was driving a Land Cruiser with university students. When we reached Lami Niusi, About 14 bandits attacked us. 7 had guns, while the other 7 had bows and arrows. I told them to take whatever they wanted, but not to harm anyone. When we reached Kainuk, the university students took me to the police station, accusing me of colluding with the bandits. I denied the accusations and asked them if they could compete with an AK-47. That is why new drivers are being killed because of resistance. Last year, a driver and a student died. While Dodo drives, Isaac sleeps as he awaits his time at the steering wheel. We are at a place called Kainuk. This place is a battlefield. When the Pokot raid cattle and try to cross to their side, they usually meet here, and it turns into a war zone. Today, it's the Turkana. Tomorrow, the Pokot retaliate. We get stuck here and witness the fights. At times, you think you're watching a movie. Although he has been an excellent driver, life has thrown Dodo curveballs once too often. I divorced my first wife. We got married in 1980, but we divorced. I have children, some of who are already working. My current wife now is a doctor working in Kitale. Divorce was not the heaviest challenge of his life. My firstborn son died when he was 40 years old. He wanted to travel abroad, but I couldn't raise the money. He developed diabetes and hypertension when he heard that his friend would travel abroad, but not him. Later, he suffered depression, and that's when he passed on. Dodo has been a cigarette smoker for over 40 years. He smokes up to 1 packet of cigarettes every day. To justify his smoking habits, Dodo buys honey along the road. Honey is good medicine for my chest. You have no loose change? Should I return the honey? Seems like you will lose my money. Even though Dodo is quite experienced in driving through this region, he has faced the unfortunate reality of accidents. A few years ago, he was involved in a serious incident that deeply affected him and transformed the way he drives his truck. The Land Cruiser's bonnet popped up and hindered my sight. I veered to the opposite lane and hit a motorcycle rider. He died on the spot. Such experiences can leave lasting impressions, and Dodo has taken them to heart as he confidently tackles a stretch that all drivers on this route dread. Kamatira Hill rises majestically to an altitude of approximately 6,000 feet, offering breathtaking views of the surrounding landscape. This is a 7-kilometer drive. The Kamatira Forest, a lush sanctuary filled with diverse flora, was originally planted by prisoners detained in Kapenguria during the 1950s, a crucial period in Kenya's fight for self-governance. The forest stands as a poignant reminder of resilience and hope, symbolizing the enduring spirit of those who contributed to its creation amidst the struggle for freedom. The winding road of Kamatira presents a relentless challenge for drivers, with its treacherous bends and deep ravines that seem to lurk around every corner. The steep descents test even the most experienced motorists, as the unforgiving terrain demands their full attention. Dodo knows this all too well. He has mourned the loss of several friends and acquaintances who have died trying to traverse the dangerous terrain. There was a driver named John who was driving a Nissan. However, when he reached the top of the hill, the car experienced a brake failure, resulting in the tragic deaths of everyone inside. Salgao has a double lane, but here it is a one lane, so it's very dangerous. Any mishap, you perish. A military bus crashed here, killing all the soldiers. After a crossing well done, Dodo lights a cigarette to express his relief. From now on, his only worry is making it on time to catch the next truck leaving for Congo. Meanwhile, Isaac is quarreling with someone on the phone. What kind of stupidity are you telling me? Idiot. Don't be rubbish. Understand. Foolish. Dodo uses the chance to give him some relationship advice due to his years of experience. You are breaking up your family without knowing it. When you get a divorce, the only relationship you have is with the child. And if you can be able to have access to the child anytime, take him to town, buy him shoes, clothes, sweets, and anything he wants. And tell the kid to go back to the mother. One day the child will come to look for you. But if the wife's family is giving you pressure, do not succumb to the pressure. At Marsabit, skilled mechanics are diligently wrapping up final services on the Jungle Warrior truck, ensuring it's ready for the adventure ahead. Although the road infrastructure is excellent, the Marsabit area is still a hotbed for bandits and inter-ethnic animosity. This area is very dangerous. You can see we've just passed the tomb of one of the Chinese contractors. He was killed and buried there. Patrick has a wife and children who live in the town of Marsabit. Here in Laisami, they are a pastoralist community. My wife comes from this area, and I fluently speak the Samburu dialect. As he drives further south, he passes the Ololokwi Mountain, a local tourist attraction. This is Mount Ololokwi in Samburu County. It is famous for the round feature at the top. It is the most photographed mountain in the area. At 246 kilometers south of Marsabit, the town of Isilolo stands at the gateway to the northeastern counties of Kenya. This is a relief to Patrick, as he is now leaving Marsabit County and starts to drive west towards his final destination, Busia. From Illoret to Busia, Pato passes through 12 different counties. Rain is not a big challenge during the day, but during the night it impairs visibility. Patrick makes his way through Nanyuki, which means the River of Blood. Nanyuki in Laikipia County has a rich history that sparks different emotions in its locals. As he navigates through the scenic Laikipia County, He can't help but feel the stories imbued in the land around him. There are 48 large-scale ranches sitting on 4.3% of the total land area in Laikipia County, some of which are still owned by the descendants of the colonial settlers. It is owned by the whites. Nobody knows about the farm because all their produce is for export. Even the British Army has set up a base for training in Nanyuki. There is bad blood between the locals and the so-called colonial conservancies. With 9 more counties to journey through before reaching Busia, he acknowledges the challenges ahead, but he remains hopeful and determined, knowing that each step brings him closer to his destination. Patrick seems to be catching up with Dodo now, even though he has covered more kilometers than Dodo. Even though Dodo is vastly experienced and started his career even before Patrick was born, Patrick is equally experienced in the task despite his younger age. On this highway, Dodo tries to make up for lost time and picks up on speed whenever he can. Dodo's decade of driving extends to the entire East African region and some parts of southern African countries. His most unforgettable experience was driving in war-torn Somalia. I've driven Mara trucks, buses, lorries, and many more. Drivers are always on the move. Being a very busy highway, they are not out of the woods yet. The highway is riddled with several black spots every 20 or so kilometers. Dodo has worked alongside Isaac for 2 years as his co-driver. Today, he gets a word of encouragement. Pray to God to bless the work of your hands. If you are rich and arrogant, you will have a good life, but don't be poor and arrogant, or you will suffer. Unfortunately, Dodo has to stop. We are fixing the canvas. Hold it from that end. Dodo has had enough of driving, and he swaps roles with Isaac. Isaac will drive the rest of the journey to Busia. Now it's Dodo's time to take a hard-earned nap. A few kilometers later, Dodo is up again and directing Isaac on how to drive, something Isaac is not amused about. Drive slowly and observe the traffic rules. Back on the road with Patrick, the jungle warrior confidently navigated through the vibrant tourist paradise of Nakuru City, which is also rich in agriculture. Because we have Lake Nakuru, Nakuru National Park, Lake Naivasha, the hot springs, attracts tourists. Up ahead, an accident has occurred. A truck full of sugarcane overturns just a few meters from the jungle warrior. I have suffered a huge loss. I was transporting goods from Kizi, but most of them have been destroyed. They should add bumps on this road. Most of the school kids get knocked down. Last week, a trader was killed by a speeding vehicle. From there, Patrick is driving through the panoramic view of a tea plantation. Kericho is a tea county, which has made Kenya the world's 3rd largest tea producer after India and Sri Lanka. These are beautiful rolling hills carpeted in neat, bright green tea bushes as far as the eye can see. He snakes through Kisumu City, known for Lake Victoria, the largest freshwater lake in Africa, and also a fishing zone. Dodo and Isaac are just a short distance away from Busia, and the tension of not making it on time wanes between the two drivers. As Isaac brings it to the park, both drivers are happy with their accomplishment, despite starting the journey several hours late. We had a successful journey with a few challenges, but finally we have managed to get here. You see that truck over there? It is transporting fish to Congo. All the bales you see here are destined for Congo. Barely 2 hours late, Patrick also arrives in Busia. Even though he had around 1,200 kilometers to cover, he is on time compared to Dodo, who had about 400 kilometers less on his route. The trip was successful. We have struggled, but we are finally here.
Yeah, we are in Busia fish market.
Patrick is my friend. He ferries our fish from Ileret to Busia so that we can trade. My package has arrived and it is being offloaded. We sell to Congolese who are our customers. Patrick goes through a lot of hardships. It's a difficult job. The route itself is risky, and it is a profession they do with a lot of sacrifice and dedication. Once the loaders finish unloading their trucks, both drivers will embark on a journey back to the shores of Lake Turkana in a never-ending cycle to pick up yet another load while crossing one of the most dangerous transport belts in Kenya. This is the Wild North. Narok County, Kenya, home to the vibrant Maasai community and the world-renowned Maasai Mara Game Reserve, a world wonder. An enchanting frontier. Drivers have to develop animal instincts to navigate this wilderness. It's a wild country in this transport corridor, where transporting livestock is a dangerous battle. They must arrive alive. I can see a trailer turned over on the road. I don't know if that's the cause. Danger lurks everywhere. For the Maasai, livestock is everything, and fighting is common. No one is safe, not even the police. These are the beasts of Narok. Narok County is famously known as the safari capital of Kenya, but hidden within its borders lies a thriving livestock business that feeds the entire region and beyond. Today is market day at Iwaso Niro, one of the largest livestock markets in Kenya. Here, goats, sheep, and cattle are sold in the thousands. Transporting livestock to and from the market is critical. Naisho embodies the proud spirit of the Maasai people. a community renowned for their rich pastoralist heritage. Today, he is picking up goats for delivery. Naisho is a devoted father with 9 children. However, he is never shy to consider having a second wife in his family. To him, the larger the family, the more there is to go around. His livestock and car business are the primary sources of livelihood for him and his family, providing food and education for all his children. Naisho charges about $2 to carry sheep and about $2.50 for humans. There is no luxury here, and there is always space for one more. Naisho proudly explains how many sheep he can fit in his car. We could carry up to 20 sheep with this car. If there are too many, we load them on the top of the car. Naisho owns a Toyota Probox, a favorite makeshift heavy-duty vehicle that is built to tackle this rough terrain. He has been a driver for 15 years. The difficult terrain sometimes breaks his spirit, but he always picks himself back up. Today, his transportation orders start from his home village of Majimoto to the Iwaso Niro market. I left home at 5 a.m. and arrived at Iwaso Niro at 7 a.m. because of the road conditions. His car carries both human and livestock, whichever of the two he encounters along the route. We are carrying 16 goats, and we are 6 people. Naisho is a few hours late in getting to the Iwaso Niro market. On the way, Naisho passes some of the other drivers who are less fortunate. Mina's car has broken down, and there is no help on site. Even the truck drivers cannot spare any time to help him, as they are racing against the clock. My car's ball joint broke, causing it to stall. I had to ride a motorbike back to town for repairs. As a mechanic, I returned and fixed it myself. At the other end of Narok, Longisa is also on the move. He has been a driver for a long time, longer than Naisho. A Probox can take up to 3 days to get to the Iwaso Niro market because of the poor roads. Unlike Naisho, who is picking up livestock and people, Longisa has been hired to deliver a consignment of sheep to the Iwaso Niro market. These drivers are always competing to get to the market first, while livestock prices are still high. The bad roads are a menace to everyone. No one is spared the ordeals of traveling them. It's a short distance, like 60 kilometers, but we can leave at 8 a.m. and arrive at 4 p.m. because of the bad roads. Just up the road, Longisa's fears are realized. The convoy of the Narok senator is stuck in the mud. For the last 4 hours, they have been battling to navigate a very bad stretch that is barely a kilometer long. Despite the fact his convoy is equipped with larger, more powerful vehicles, compared to the smaller ones like Longisa's and Naisho's, the roads are unforgiving.
It is heartbreaking to see what is happening in our country. Here we are, the whole day, we've been struggling to go through such roads. We've managed with our SUV to come. We've left the other SUVs there. They were not able to come through. And look at these guys here. Look at the community. They're the ones struggling. Look at this lady. I want you to show them on that side. You know, struggling to go on a motorbike. These people deserve to be treated like human beings.
After a futile struggle, the senator decides to continue his tour on foot, embracing the opportunity to explore and engage more intimately with Narok's wild surroundings. Just a few meters away is the arena of the world wonder, Masai Mara Game Reserve. This expansive wilderness covers an estimated area of about 1,500 square kilometers of flora and fauna. Rare species of wildlife roam free here, including the famed Big Five, rhinoceroses, lions, leopards, buffaloes, and elephants. Additionally, the park is known for the spectacular migration of wildebeests. This provides opportunities for the locals, like Evelyn and Bill, who are direct beneficiaries of the Mara National Reserve. They are tour guides. A rather patriarchal society, Evelyn is a trailblazer, overcoming gender barriers to become one of the first female tour guides in Mara.
The community is more impressive for the other ladies, so I'm much appreciative.
For Evelyn, being a guide is both a dream come true and a necessity for her family. Naisho has managed to conquer the worst stretch of the road to reach a paved section. From here, the journey eases a little towards Iwaso Niro Market. However, his joy has been cut short. There is an accident. A truck has overturned on the road. I think the lorry went down because it was overloaded, or because the road has a bump which the driver didn't know about, and he just crashed. Both Naisho and Longisa make it to the market where business is booming. We have faced many challenges where even our foodstuffs go bad at the market, forcing us to sell it at throwaway prices. The market is alive with activity. Despite the strong mix of animal odors in the air, traders and buyers remain undeterred. Today I am selling 50 sheep. Prices depend on the weight and agreement with buyers. But we don't weigh the sheep here. Instead, the Maasai assess their quality and size visually. The new animal owners prefer to use trucks to transport their big numbers to larger towns, like Nairobi and Mombasa. Ciara and Mwangi are top truck drivers here in Iwaso Niro, and their services are in high demand. They transport sheep and goats. With this demand comes an undeniable pressure. As they load their trucks, they fully understand the challenges ahead. Transporting livestock is no small feat. Every moment counts, and the well-being of the goats, sheep, and cattle depends on their expertise and care. Ciara and Mwangi are not the only truck drivers transporting livestock. John is another trucker from Narok, 100 kilometers from the Iwaso Niro market. He is loading cows. His truck is known as Kazi and Sala, meaning work and prayers. Loading is no easy feat. The cows always have a mind of their own. Today, this batch has made up their minds not to be loaded for travel. With their animal instincts kicking in, they engage John and his colleagues in running battles. Finally, they manage to load up the cows by tying them up, then forcing them into the truck. A minor victory for John and his team. We have just loaded 2 cows on the truck. We are picking up more at Lucia. We then start our journey to Dagoretti in Nairobi. John's truck carries 20 cows. He works with brokers to source them, which are then transported to the market. So John has to go elsewhere to load his truck. Hey, where is Konyo? Is he here? Smile for the camera. Sometimes the cows are not all at one location, like today. For today's delivery, John is traveling with his customers Murungaru, Peter, and Yongo. They are brokers and livestock owners who traverse the route to go and sell the animals at Kenya's capital, Nairobi. These are my customers who all have cows in the truck since one can't fill it alone. Previously, a single customer could fill it, but now they team up in groups of 5 or 6 to get a full truck. I have 5 cows, and we have 20 cows in total. I have done this job for 17 years. The cattle breeds found here include the small East African Zebu, Boran, and Saliwal. The Boran is the most favored among locals because it can weigh up to 800 kilograms and fetch a good price. Within 30 minutes, John arrives at his second pickup destination. He hopes that this time the cattle will cooperate, as time is not on his side. With the first 2 loaded and 18 to go, he heads off to the next location. His starting point is Mount Narok on the western edge of Narok County. I wake up at 6 and start gathering cows from different areas. Right now, I'm coming from Lingitia, having passed through Kisiriri, Lotsia, and Longito. I end the collection in Narok town, where after picking up 20 cows, I head to the market in Dagoretti. Mount Narok is part of an area that makes up Kenya's largest water catchment area and is currently threatened by massive deforestation. On their next stop, John has better luck, as his customers manage to load around 10 cows. At each loading, danger is ever looming. The loaders can be gored, trampled, or crushed between the animals. The burdensome beasts are not boarding. Sometimes handlers unfortunately have to use forceful measures to get animals onto the truck. John is frustrated. They are scared of the bull. They soon realize the problem. A bull is causing all the pandemonium. They bring down the culprit to allow for the others to be loaded first. Depending on the breed and size, a bull can sell between $500 and $1,000. Most market prices are determined by brokers, who are equally loved and hated. John has a wife and 2 children. They are the motivation behind his work as a driver. Business is slow, but we have to work hard. In the past, we used to do 6 trips per week, but now we only do 4. John has left Mao Summit and needs to catch up with Ciara and Mwangi, who are loading their animals further ahead at the Iwaso Nero market. John is forced to stop after a distress call from the watcher. One of the cows is not okay and is laid down. Let's tie the cow with a rope to prevent it from lying down. After frantically standing him up and a little drink of water, the cow later manages to get back on its feet. We had to wake up a cow that had lied down. There must be a watcher at the back to alert us when this happens. When a cow sleeps, it can be stepped on by other cows, and this lowers the quality of the meat, and customers refuse to buy. Or it could be stepped on and die, which would be a total loss. That's why we have a watcher back there. Though John's truck still has a lot of life left in it, a few months ago, one of the window handles broke off. So he has to contend with using a wrench to open and close the window from time to time. As they near Narok town, it is unmistakable why Narok is one of the region's agricultural hubs. At Narok, John stops to load his last cargo of the day. But before loading, they first check to ensure the rest of the animals are still okay. One cow almost falls off during the check. A close call. Hold its ears. Move to the middle. Have you let go? Grab my hand. Grab the legs first. Push. Now the truck is fully loaded. The livestock business isn't bad. Sometimes we make a profit. Other times we incur losses. It's just the nature of the business. We have now loaded 20 cows. The work we do is very tough, but we must do it to raise our children. Now we are headed to town. John is the first driver to start the journey towards Nairobi. His mission starts from Mount Narok, a distance of about 60 kilometers from Narok town. At Iwaso Niro Market, things are not going smoothly for the other truckers. Mwangi in particular is experiencing a delay in loading because some of the sheep have yet to be delivered. Meanwhile, Ciara is now ready for his truck to be loaded. The most sought-after sheep in the market are the Somali blackhead sheep. Ciara's loading is not as hectic as John's. The sheep are shepherded into the truck in a rather orderly manner. After a job well done, he receives his travel allowance, and he is ready to hit the road. We are done parking. We have divided the sheep into two groups, some on the upper deck and others on the lower deck. With a total of 150 animals, we place 60 on the upper deck. Now, with 140 animals, we still place 60 on the upper deck to maintain a balanced weight. If we had more animals on the top, the lorry could easily overturn. We have now finished loading and are ready to travel from Iwaso Niro to Lucky Summer in Nairobi. Ciara has been a driver for 17 years. He ventured into transporting animals 4 years ago. Ciara is in a hurry to catch up with John, who has already left. Say hi to Nairobi, my friend. Previously, he used to work as a driver for an agrovet company, and then shifted to the construction materials supply business. If he wasn't a driver, his dream is to be a livestock farmer. To him, the livestock business is very profitable. We are stopping at a petrol station to refuel before continuing our journey, but we are still in Narok town. Narok derives its name from Enkare Narok, which means black water. It is the last significant town before entering the enchanting Masai Mara. It is a modern town that is growing at a very steady rate, typical of many towns in Kenya. Transporting goats is very different from transporting other types of cargo. For example, when driving down a slope, the animals can shift forward, which can lead to serious accidents. If you lose a goat during transport, it not only impacts your relationship with the customer, but can also harm the business of the owner, who expects you to deliver the same number of live animals from the market. Theft during transportation is a significant challenge. The reason the truck is accompanied by two young men on the vehicle's roof. They keep an eye on the valuable animals. In Narok, where animals are prevalent, drivers must share the roads with them. A minor mistake can result in significant consequences. The Maasai deeply value their livestock, and harming them is not an option. The largest community in Narok is the Maasai, who are primarily known for livestock keeping. However, they have recently also begun farming, creating a balance between livestock rearing and agriculture. There are large fields of maize, wheat, and barley across the highway. In the Suswa area, Ciara stops to conduct a routine check on the sheep. We make a first check, second check, and a third check before we get to our destination. Unfortunately, one of them has succumbed to trampling in the truck. Once a victim of an accident due to an unbalanced truck, Ciara calls on his assistant to make sure his precious cargo is evenly distributed after the check. He has witnessed numerous transport trucks roll over on the road due to poor balancing, resulting in the deaths of many animals on board. He has previously been a victim of losing animals himself. We had overloaded the goats, and by the time we reached Juja, 5 had already died. When the owner discovered the dead goats, he blamed me for careless driving and deducted compensation from my pay. Meanwhile, Mwangi is the last to leave Iwaso Niro Market. He was delayed by his suppliers, who arrived late with his stock. He now has to hurry to ensure he delivers the goat consignment on time. But first, he's confronted with heavy rainfall. In the Narok highland, it normally rains in the afternoon. This is likely to slow down his progress. I can't say whether business is good or bad because of the country's political situation. Mwangi's truck is called Takbir. He doesn't know what it means, but he likes it. Mwangi neither owns the truck nor the consignment. He is just an employed driver. At 30 years old, Mwangi has a wife and 2 children. His motivation for working hard. In no time, he is approaching Narok town. We are now at Narok. This place is commonly known for goat farming. He gets a status call from his suppliers asking how far he is, additional pressure to make haste. If Mwangi wasn't a truck driver, he would have preferred to become a mechanic, his work of choice. I didn't enjoy working as a matatu driver, so I quit the job after COVID. Trying to make up for lost time, Mwangi is steadily picking up speed, passing other slow-moving trucks on his way. But soon, he has to reduce speed due to a police checkpoint up ahead. Truck drivers are constantly harassed by traffic police patrols. Mwangi receives a call from Ciara, who warns him about traffic police on the road. Is there a speed gun around? He has successfully completed the traffic section and is now determined to catch up with Ciara and John, who are quite a ways ahead of him. An avid football fan, Mwangi is a staunch supporter of Manchester United, a football team from the English Premier League. I used to watch football back when I was younger, but now I miss matches because of my job. From Narok town, Nairobi is now about 4 to 5 hours away. John's next stop is the market, unless he needs to check to see if his animals are in distress. Picking up speed, John approaches Ntalele, one of the black spots along this route. This stretch is notorious for some of the freak accidents that happen along the Narok-Nairobi highway. Littered on the road is a donkey carcass, which gives testament to the dangers of the road. And in no time, his worst fears are realized when a truck runs over a herd of goats and sheep. Tragically, a truck has struck livestock, resulting in the death of several animals. This accident is causing significant disruptions along this crucial transport route. The herder challenges the police for their inaction in failing to arrest the truck driver responsible for the accident. One officer retaliates by opening fire on him, sparking a violent clash involving guns, arrows, and spades. Tension escalates as the herders pursue the police officer who opened fire on them. In the chaos, they chop off his hand. This is vicious. This is a fight for survival. Help him! Come over here. They have escaped with the gun. Luckily, John is not caught up in the violence, unlike Mwangi and Ciara. He manages to squeeze through before the violence escalates. John is not immune to accidents. He too was once involved in one while transporting livestock. I was once in an accident with his car while transporting cows. The brakes failed. You know it's hard to balance cows inside the truck. It was at a corner where the cows lay on one side, causing the car to overturn. According to John, many accidents happen because of speeding and reckless overtaking. As they near Nairobi, John makes one last stop to check on the cows. All the cows are safe, and they continue to the market. Finally, they arrive at their destination. Dagoretti is one of the largest markets in the city. The animals are quickly offloaded from the truck. Luckily, they do not have any fatalities. However, one of the cows suffers severe exhaustion from the journey and has to be helped out of the truck. The cow doesn't want to come out, just wants to sleep. With a quick check from the resident doctor, all the animals are given a clean bill of health. John is happy to have delivered yet another consignment of livestock. Work has been okay, but we have had so many challenges from last year. Business has gone down a bit, but we thank God for what we get. John's boss, Mark, is happy with the delivery.
John is my driver.
John is my driver, a skilled driver who understands his job and his customers.
Anajua kuhandle my customers.
Far behind John are Mwangi and Ciara, who were caught up in the conflict between herders and police. Mwangi has now overtaken Ciara and is navigating through the dangerous area of Mai Mahiu. Mai Mahiu is dangerous for heavy traffic on this stretch. This forces Mwangi to overtake aggressively in order to get clear of this stretch as quickly as possible. However, his progress is slowed by an accident up ahead. Mwangi makes a call to warn Ciara of the accident as he slowly moves through this section of road. I can see a trailer turned over on the road. I don't know if that's what is causing traffic to back up. This road is very narrow and needs to be expanded into a dual carriageway to improve traffic flow. He is worried because sometimes a traffic jam takes hours to clear, and he is running extremely late. Luckily, he is able to maneuver his way through. Right behind Mwangi, Ciara is now ready to take on the Mai Mahiu traffic. Memories of a near-fatal incident caused by flooding come rushing back. We went through this place at roughly 3:20 p.m. with 3 buses in front and 1 behind. The bus directly behind us was swept away by the water, but we were spared. Before tackling the congested route, it's time to conduct the second check. After navigating the Mai Mahiu traffic, Mwangi joins the highway to Nairobi. I prefer driving at night because there are fewer cars on the road, which means less disturbance from other drivers. He drives through Ruaka town. With dusk setting in, many truckers will make an overnight stop here to resume their journeys in the morning. But Ciara doesn't enjoy that luxury. He must keep going despite the challenging conditions ahead. From here, he will face the notorious traffic that will take him more than an hour to navigate a stretch of less than 20 kilometers to the main highway. Soon after his departure, Ciara has to make another stop. Due to the area's reputation for thieves, he hurriedly conducts the third and final security check of the sheep. This is a risky location. We were supposed to arrive at about 8 p.m., but the wooden blocks kept falling on the sheep, forcing us to stop and make adjustments. From this point, Ciara will navigate traffic through the poorly lit roads until he reaches his final destination. He hits the Nairobi highway, which will present a different challenge. While the road network to Nairobi is well paved, Ciara must exercise extra caution when navigating steep descents and sharp corners, where in the past many cars have overturned, resulting in numerous fatalities. Driving at night can be challenging, especially when fatigue sets in, making one sleep. However, working at night is beneficial because the temperature is cooler, in contrast to the daytime heat. Even the goats are more relaxed now that the lorry is cool. As they near the city center, both drivers must now deliver their loads to different locations. Ciara will be delivering at Lucky Summer Slaughterhouse, while Mwangi at the famed Kiamaiko Slaughterhouse. After 6 hours behind the wheel, Ciara finally reaches his destination. We are currently at the Lucky Summer Slaughterhouse in Kasarani. We faced challenges during our trip because the truck had issues with the wooden blocks, which delayed us by over an hour. We were supposed to arrive around 8 p.m., but the wooden blocks kept falling on the sheep, forcing us to stop and make adjustments. Unfortunately, this resulted in the death of one sheep. Mwangi's destination is now within sight. A light show from a Ferris wheel gives him a glimpse of the city up ahead. It's all smooth sailing from here. Finally, at around 9:30 p.m., Mwangi arrives at his destination. Kiamaiko is the largest goat and sheep slaughterhouse in Kenya's capital. About 2,000 to 5,000 goats and sheep are slaughtered here every day for both the local market and for export to Middle Eastern countries. We have now arrived at Kiamaiko from Narok. This is where we deliver our goats, and our journey was good. From here, the animals will be taken to different destinations, and Mwangi will undertake the journey back to Narok to do it all over again. As night falls, John, Ciara, and Mwangi have a few hours to rest before they drive to deliver another fresh batch of livestock along this treacherous route.